These days, distractions are all over the place, which makes it really challenging for you to focus on meaningful tasks. But today we're going to explore the power of prioritizing deep work to help you stand out as a more effective leader. Hey everyone, welcome back into another episode of Fast and Focus, where we dive into topics that go beyond the form of traditional self-discipline. I'm Zach Matthews, the head coach over here at Fast and Focus, and you're watching episode 4 of our time management series, where we're uncovering the secrets to getting more done in less time. Over these 5 episodes, we've been uncovering the 5 different key time management principles that will help you supercharge your productivity. Today, we're going to be discussing the bottom left one there, prioritizing deep work to help you dial in on the biggest projects in your life. First things first, what do I mean when I say deep work? Now, we've been talking this last several weeks about different principles we can use for focusing on time. So, eating the frog, Parkinson's law, and time blocks. All 3 of those are focused on making sure that you're carving out time for the most important tasks. But the difference in deep work is that it's actually focused on the quality of that time that you spend on it, whether it's 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, or more. How effective are you being in that time that you're giving yourself? That's what deep work is. So deep work, the literal definition of it, is a distraction-free environment for high-value tasks. Now, this is essential for making sure that you're accomplishing the most important tasks in your day. Now, what are the biggest benefits that you can look forward to if you were to prioritize deep work into your daily routine? So as you can see here, first and foremost, you're going to have that laser-like focus that we all crave in this day and age. All of our employers, everybody that wants to hire the best performer, or the business owners that want to be the most effective they can be in their day, they all strive for that laser-like focus, or they look for it in others. And Bruce Lee has an amazing quote that I love. It says, "The successful warrior is a common man or woman with laser-like focus." Notice that he didn't say it's the most God-gifted man or woman with laser-like focus. It's just a common man or woman with laser-like focus. And that's what we mean here. So the deep work allows you to concentrate fully on one task versus letting your brain go a million different directions with, distractions and rabbit holes and all these other things that we get bogged down to. Second of all, you're going to have skill mastery that you can look forward to. While everybody else is trying to accomplish too much at once and not learning anything, essential or new about what they're doing, you're going to be able to prioritize deep work to hone your skills and enhance your expertise on any given subject that you're interested in. And then third, it's going to increase your effectiveness. Now, this probably goes without saying, but it's really important to the whole deep work process. So you get to achieve more in less time by prioritizing deep work. Now, time blocks, eating the frog, and Parkinson's law, which we've talked about so far, those are all great. But if you're not making sure that you're eliminating the distractions in that 60 to 90 minutes you're giving yourself first thing in the morning when you start your day or you start your work, then you're really not doing anything to move the needle. Deep work eliminates the distractions, makes sure that you're building an environment that maximizes your productivity so that you're getting those high tasks done and eliminating the mistakes at the same time. Now, as you can imagine, it is harder than ever to prioritize and establish deep work routines into your daily outline, because the reason for that is because it's easier than ever for people to get in touch with us. There are more distractions than ever in the computers and the phones that we use. And quite frankly, we just aren't wired anymore to focus on one task at a time. That's not the way we've been raised. That's not the way society has taught us to be wired. So therefore, it's a foreign concept to us. So we have to get back to the basics of it. And here are the 3 ways that you can get back to the basics and set yourself up for success when you're trying to prioritize deep work. So first of all, you're going to list your priorities. Basically, what you want to ask yourself there is, hey, if I'm giving myself 60 to 90 minutes to work on one task, what is the one task that deserves that much time and focus and energy into it? What's the biggest project I have, essentially, that I need to focus that 60 to 90 minutes into so that I can get the best results possible? You're going to be amazed at the results that you see. Second of all, you schedule them ahead of time. We talked about this in the time block episode, but it's worth repeating and honing in on that point, that you need to schedule this ahead of time. Do not wait until the morning of to tell yourself when you're going to do your deep work. Make it a non-negotiable for yourself. Go on your Google Calendar or whatever calendar app you use and cut out 60 to 90 minutes at the same time every single day where no one can schedule a meeting with you And the only person that can get in touch with you is your spouse, your parents, or your kids, right? That's what we're going for here. Schedule that ahead of time and be intentional about that every single day, not just once or twice a week, not just once or twice a month, every single day, 60 to 90 minutes, schedule it ahead of time. And then third, as you can see there, you're going to eliminate the distractions, which is basically the primary reason that we're even talking about deep work. Remove the notifications. Don't let those distractions come to you. Don't give them the power to come to you and disturb your day and disturb your session. Instead, remove those from the equation either by using the Do Not Disturb app on your phone, or if that doesn't work, then you need to put the phone in the other room for 60 minutes, at least 45 minutes of your 60-minute session, so that you can ensure, again, ladies and gentlemen, that focus is on the one task you've given yourself 60 to 90 minutes to complete. Now let's get down to brass tacks here. We know the benefits of deep work now. We know how to implement it correctly. What are some of those common obstacles that we might anticipate or we might come across when we try to implement deep work for the first time, or when we try to do it consistently day in, day out? And how can we avoid some of those obstacles in the first place? The first thing that you need to do is you need to determine how you're going to handle urgent tasks. Now, yes, deep work is used to eliminate distractions, but it would be ridiculous to think that there will never be an emergency that will pop up or something that you need to prioritize ahead of the deep work. These kinds of things happen. Your boss calls sometimes, a client calls with an emergency, whatever that looks like for you. So it's important to learn how you're going to handle those urgent tasks ahead of time so that you can get out in front of them. And then you understand like, oh, well, this is one of those times where I need to kind of tone down the deep work so that I can tackle this first and then get back to it. One of the techniques that you can try is called a Pomodoro technique. I think that's how you pronounce it. And basically it says that you're going to allot yourself a certain time that is deep work, non-negotiable, and then you kind of reserve like a little slice of that deep work time for if a distraction were to pop up. So for example, if you give yourself 60 minutes for a deep work session, you schedule that ahead of time, you could tell yourself that 45 minutes of that session is going to be absolute deep work. Phone's going to be in the other room. There's going to be no possible way people can get in touch with me, but I'm going to check it 45 minutes in. Once that first 45 minutes is done, I'm going to check my phone to make sure there's no emergencies. And if my wife called me and got through the Do Not Disturb app on my phone, then I can call back, see what's going on, check in, and if there is an emergency, then that next 15 minutes can be used to tackle it. It usually never takes more than 15 minutes to tackle an urgent matter, so just be alert of that. Okay. Second, you're going to set realistic goals. Now, this is something you should do ahead of time. This is not something you should do during the deep work session, but make sure that you're actually creating attainable goals for yourself in your sessions. If you only give yourself 60 minutes once a week to do something, then you're really setting yourself up for failure because you're just going to keep rushing. The point the point of deep work is not to try to rush things in 60 minutes. It's to give yourself 60 minutes to focus on one task, 60 to 90 minutes, whatever the time is that you give yourself. Okay? Set realistic goals and make sure that it actually fits with that. And if it doesn't fit within that one 60 to 90 minute session, then give yourself a goal of completing it by the end of the week with a 60 to 90 minute session Monday through Friday. That way you're setting yourself up first and foremost to get it done the first time, but maybe a little wiggle room to, kind of make some edits or look over it, have someone else look at it and then come back to it, whatever that looks like. Set realistic goals. And then third, you're going to remain consistent. Now, I realize that this is easier said than done, but you really need to make a deep, regular calendar for yourself. And like I said before, the easiest way to do that is just figure out 1 hour time slot in your daily schedule that you can cut out where no one else can reserve a time for a meeting or give you a call or you're checking social media or whatever. Just one hour session in your workday on your Google Calendar where you're going to put the phone inside the desk, or you're going to put it in the other room, or you're going to slam it in the bathroom, and you're going to focus on one task, one large task that deserves all the time and energy that you're going to pour into it. I know it's going to be hard for you guys to implement this at first, especially if this is not something that you've ever tried before. And maybe you're a type A type person where, you're constantly on the go. It's really hard for you to sit down and do something for let alone 30 minutes, much less 60 to 90 minutes. But I promise you, if you are able to be intentional about this, then people are just going to notice that the projects you put out there are a higher level of quality or more helpful to other people, because quite frankly, you've just eliminated distractions where other people were unwilling to. It's like that old saying goes, where the best, like Bruce Lee just said, and what I quoted him on a few minutes ago, the most successful warrior is the common man or woman that has laser-like focus. Laser-like focus includes eliminating distractions. Now, one of the best things for me, I've been using deep focus for years, basically since our first son was born 3 years ago. And it's been a game changer for me. When he was born, I was a freelance copywriter, so I literally only got paid for the articles I finished for clients. And before I had kids, obviously I could just, kind of go throughout my day, really have no structure or whatever. Having a little one running around the house definitely changes that dynamic a little bit. So deep work has been really important for me. I've been doing it for years. The biggest tip that I have for you guys, to make sure that you're doing the best possible and you're being intentional about removing the distractions, is get those notifications away from you. I use the Do Not Disturb app religiously on my phone because it's the best tool that I have to remove those distractions and prevent them from coming to me. I'll do this for, I do this for work, but I also do this for when I'm working out. Like when I go to the gym, I turn the Do Not Disturb app on my phone. And I know some people even have it down to where they have like different prompts on the Do Not Disturb app for different things. Like when they're, at work, when they're in their deep work session, nobody but their spouse can call them. But like when they're at the gym, like, their spouse can call them, and, maybe their boss or some colleagues or some clients, some really important clients. So whatever works for you, I just have the one general Do Not Disturb, because I know to just turn it off as soon as I'm done with the deep work session or the gym session or whatever, to turn it off, check up, and get caught up with all the texts that I missed, all the calls I missed, all that. It really just, that catching up period after the deep work session literally only takes me 10 minutes. You'd be surprised that how well the world turns without you tending to everybody's every need. So give yourself 60 to 90 minutes, turn that Do Not Disturb button on your phone, eliminate those distractions and notifications, and be amazed at the results that you see. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Deep work can be the X factor to helping you find uninterrupted time every single day to make sure and ensure that the energy, the focus, and the willpower that you're expending into a task is getting maximized and you're seeing the best results, because you're not only taking the time out of your day to do it, but you're eliminating the distractions. Okay, so my challenge for you guys this week is basically the same as last week. Last week in the time block episode, I had you pick one task that you were going to dedicate 60 to 90 minutes to. Now you're going to focus on one way that you can eliminate distractions. And I just gave you one massive way to do it. Put the Do Not Disturb app on your phone if you don't already, or if you don't use it. I think the iPhone already has it by default. Make sure that you use it. And if you are one that, like, there's certain situations where you need to have more access to more people calling you, then make different prompts on the Do Not Disturb app on your phone. But carve out some time, just think about it for the next 5 minutes on how you're going to eliminate one distraction that, whether that's social media or friends constantly texting you in a group text or getting fantasy football alerts, whatever that is for you, and eliminate that distraction in your next deep work session. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Fast and Focus. If you found the content valuable, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you can stay motivated on your path to success. And remember, deep work is a key component of unlocking your full potential. So keep pushing forward, stay resilient, and focus on the journey ahead.